Good morning, welcome to my YouTube channel, welcome to Jessica's channel. Today we're going to talk about the importance of letting go. So if you're new to my channel, I talk about all things spirituality, all things love, all things God, all things truth. So with letting go, it's so important to know that you are not your thoughts. And every great sage says this. Jesus says this, the Buddha says this. We are our consciousness. We are the awareness within our body. We are the awareness within this world. And when we are able to observe our thoughts as the natural observer and to understand that our thoughts are connected to emotions, and emotions are energy in motion, which means that they're moving through us. It means that we have created these emotions, our body has created these emotions, and sometimes those emotions are there to scare us. Our body creates the emotions because of thoughts, and the thoughts are linked and connected. So when we understand that we're not our thoughts, we're not our emotions, we are just our conscious observer, and from that neutral perspective and that neutral point, we can just observe them and let go. I'm reading Letting Go by David Hawkins, and it is so good. It's so interesting. It's something that I always love to talk about and to dive in on. I love philosophy, I love psychology, and I love to share this with you all and just let you know the importance of letting go, because that is one of the huge secrets of being human and being successful and really connecting to your light and God's divinity and God's truth. And it's really about knowing that those thoughts come up and those tied to those emotions because you don't want to face something. There is something that in your life that you see as problematic or as really scary. It's emotions that you're avoiding, and it's connected to your identity. So it's really important to journal about these things and to just examine and to see where you're at. It's important to look at your habits and to really ask yourself if those habits are taking you to where you want to go. Are they taking you to the person that you want to be? Are you associating and attaching to this old version of you, or patterns that don't serve you and that aren't the true you? So for example, getting clear on what you value. So someone who wants to be healthier and wants to improve how they eat and just how they see themselves, but they're eating junk food and they're smoking weed, or they're doing these things to their body, they're consuming these things. It's really about asking yourself, what is it that I value? What do I care to put in my body, because I know it's going to be a direct result of the outcome. Everything that you do in this life is going to have a consequence. We live in a physical world, and there is so much wisdom in understanding that and in loving that, because it makes you wise. It makes you really see the truth all around you. It makes you connect to your truth, and it's not heavy. It doesn't become heavy. It becomes a beautiful responsibility, and it filled with self-love, because you realize that you do want to change and that it's easy. It's just a matter of rewiring your brain. Our brain is a supercomputer, and we have the power to rewire it and to change it and to see the world differently. Everything in the world is neutral, and we give it purpose. We give it definition. We give it the meaning that we choose because of our background, because of our patterns. But we can change that. We can change our identity. We can change the way we see ourselves. We can change everything in our lives. We can reprogram ourselves, and that's what taking responsibility really means. And it starts with letting go of the attachment of who and what you used to be, and really connecting to your truth and the beauty that comes with surrender and accepting life where it is. It's really about understanding that when you let go of fear, of worry, I mean, even like Jesus said in the verse in Matthew 6:27. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? No, worrying does nothing for us or to our lives. It just takes away, it's taking away the energy. So in order to let go of the worry, it's about setting the intention. Your intention is so powerful. It's so important. It creates change. It's you directing your mind on where you want to go for the day and what it's going to look like. It's you being a conscious co-creator. And this is really powerful when you connect it to a feeling, an emotion. It's like, what do you want to feel when you are acting in this way? Because when you act like the person that you want to be, you're already her, you're already him. You are already feeling the feeling that you want to feel. Because the reason we want something, it's not because we want the item or the stuff or the new car or the new job or the new relationship. It's because we want to feel it within our body. We want to feel love, or we want to feel peace, or we want to feel joy. And knowing that you have the power to cultivate that within yourself first, and that is how you connect to it on the outside. It's about flowing with your life and really getting clear on what is it that you want. And it's so important to journal about this and to really write it down and see where it is that those actions and those habits are not aligning with this new you that you want to create. That's how you start to merge your old self and your new self into the now and become that present you. And then you start to, again, it's about letting go and just allowing God to surprise you. So you can want something, but the way that God shows you what it's going to look like and the way that God has presented it in your life is going to be so beautiful and so much more magical and so much more of a surprise than you ever expected, because you're open to the experience, you're open to God's magic, to God's touch in your life. So you can have an idea of what you want, you can have a feeling of what you want it to feel like, but God does a beautiful way of surprising us and making that beautiful, giving us that beautiful gift, because he always wants to bless us. He always wants to give to us. This is really true in love. You know, God always gives you what you need, not what you want. In love, we have an idea of our ideal partner. It can be very egoistic, and not to say that your partner, you shouldn't be attracted to your partner. You totally should. You should definitely feel that attraction and that love and that, you know, that passion should definitely be there. But it's about knowing that it's important to be open to God's magic in your life and allowing yourself to see where God is working within your life and allowing him to show you what maybe you didn't see, and not being stubborn about it. So with relationships, you can have this idea of your partner, but someone else comes into your life and they are just as beautiful, and they're beautiful inside and out. They support you, they love you, they see you for you, they are wise, they are just amazing. But you have this idea of what it was going to look like, and your thoughts come in of like what your family might think, or you know, or what your friends might think. But it's all truly, it's those thoughts are just passing, and you don't have to attach to them. The best thing I heard from Letting Go by David Hawkins was, imagine yourself as a fish in swimming, and your thoughts are just floating across you, and you can see them as food, because when you attach to them, or when you swim towards them, or when you give them attention, you're feeding it. You're literally feeding yourself that thought. And if it's not a healthy thought, if it's not a thought that is rooted in love, if it's not a thought that is good, that is not beautiful, then you are feeding yourself garbage. You're feeding yourself rubbish. And why would you want to do that? So being that intentional and that aware of your thoughts, and that is going to completely change your life. That is going to alter everything. It's going to really allow you to see where you have been limiting yourself, the thoughts that are reoccurring, that come from your subconscious, that come from your ego, that tell you that you're separate from others, that you're not one with everyone, but really everyone is a reflection of you. And when you heal yourself, you heal the world, you heal yourself, because you're making this world a better place, and it starts with you. So just being open and aware of the thoughts that you're thinking and knowing that you can let them go. And the best technique that I have found is literally writing down the thought that you no longer want to connect to on a post-it note and just throwing it away, ripping it up, and just, or giving it to God and saying, God, please transmute this. I leave this thought, I give this thought up to you, and then replace it with a more loving, beautiful thought. So for example, if you constantly keep thinking about the future, or you're worrying about the future, you can say, okay, I literally, the thought that you're thinking, like, I'm worried about X, Y, and Z, and then ripping it up and then saying to yourself, I know that I have everything that I need in the present moment, and that is where my attention is going to be, and I trust God, and I am here and now, and God has always provided for me. And just reminding yourself that every time that you've worried, God has always been there for you, God has always loved you through it, and God will always love you through this as well. So I hope that was helpful. I will see you next time, and I hope that you are able to be more conscious and aware of the thoughts that you are thinking, because they are not you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.